Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Squirtle State Championship Roundtable. My name is Michael Swisher, and I'm joined by coaching legends, John Hardaway on my right, Coach Randy Tuney on my left. The legendary Coach Randy Tuney. And before we go too far into this, Coach Tuney, I know way back in the day you were at Dover High School, one of your many stops, and I can guarantee you when you were there and I was there, you never looked at me and said, one day I'm going to go live on Periscope and upload that to the internet machine at a state basketball tournament. Am I correct, Coach Tuney?
That would be correct, I'm sure.
All right, I just want to get that one out of the way. But as I said, this is we are live on Periscope right now. We're going to do some looking at all of the state championship previews for tomorrow, Class A and B. And brought in some experts to talk about those games. We're going to start with the Class B boys as they led it off today at breakfast at the Big House. And the first game of the day was Calumet versus Kenta, and number 4 versus number 1, and it was number 4 that prevailed. Calumet won 74-66, triple double by Riley Island, and Kenta just really had no answer for him. And when you got basically the best player on the floor, as Calumet did today, it's tough to beat a team like that.
It is, and the thing about Ricky is not only is he a scorer, but he makes everybody else on the floor better because he gets everybody else involved. And I know in the area tournament, I was talking to Coach Mayfield. He had like 20 points and 18 assists. Yep. So he's a complete player. He's not just shooting the ball all the time.
Yeah, Riley Island today, 32 points. 10 assists, 11 rebounds, so he certainly got it done for the Tetons as they make their way back into the state championship game. Of course, I believe have won 3 previous state titles, one in 1999 in Class A, then a couple of early 2000s. A guy named Shane Hansen did some damage, but it is going to be Calumet versus Leflore, and Coach Hardaway. Leflore, the big man Daniel Rodriguez, didn't do it with the points today. He didn't score. But he affected the game in a lot of other ways as Leflore was able to avenge last year's semifinal loss to Leedy, and now Leflore with its big winning streak and some big wins down the stretch now into the title game.
Yeah, with the Rodriguez kid being 6'10", especially in the small classes, a kid that's that tall just has a profound effect on the game. And when you take a kid with that type of size, and then you had the Lloyd kid today that hit 8 threes, I mean that kind of combination between that outside inside at any class, can pose a lot of problems for their opponents, and kind of provide you some balance. And that'll be a really good matchup tomorrow, I think, with Calumet and Leflore, and kind of who we were talking a little bit before, who can kind of control the tempo and how fast is the game going to go, and getting to the rim, and those good players for both those teams. It'll be really interesting to watch.
Yeah, and Rodriguez, he really didn't even touch the ball a lot today. Offensively, it's really not his fault. He didn't score a lot of points, but he opened it up, as you said. Aaron Lloyd, 8 of 12 from three-point range, 28 points, 5 of 6 in the second half, and he really was the difference. As Leedy got to look late, could not connect, and that allowed Leflore to get into the title game. But another player to look out for, Blake Crace, number 5 for Leflore, had 12 points and 9 assists, and kind of a big guy. Deceptively quick, but he's got a really good vision and really good passing skills. So that's somebody else in. But we're talking about the triple double from Riley Island, and he scored, I believe, at least 30 points in both state games. How do you, talking to Coach Mayfield earlier, I know he said maybe we're going to see a box and one. We've seen that about 10 times this year. How do you try to slow that Calumet attack?
Well, I would think, and I think Coach Tuney would be the same. I think with anybody you play, you've got to start with what's the other team's best player and stop the other team's best player. I mean, that's where if you don't do that, then you're going to have a long day. And so, I mean, whether it's some type of box and one, triangle and two, T and one, whatever it is, I'm sure Leflore will have a game plan to try to contain Riley. But like Coach said, with that many assists, I mean, there's been players in the past that I've coached against that you try to load up to stop, and they find teammates and they get 10 assists, 12 assists, those rebounds and things, and they find other ways, and that's what makes them great players is, they make everybody else around them better.
Yep.
So
we'll see what happens. Again, that game is at noon. That will be the first game of the day at State Fair Arena, the first of 4 state championship games. That will be number 4 Calumet at 26-4, taking on number 8 Leflore at 25-6, as they will decide the Class B state championship.
And what did we say, 14 in a row?
Both
of them?
teams.
Both
Yeah.
teams. So somebody's going to be win 15 in a row, and somebody's going to have a losing streak going into the next season, obviously. But Leflore is either going to get its first title, or Calumet's going to get its fourth. And Coach Jacob Mayfield, if he wins it, he will have it as a player at Eric Sweetwater, and then as
He
coach.
was. Jacob was a heck of a ball player on that 2000 state championship team that played for David Baldwin.
Yep.
I think they played Central Mall in the finals. That was one of the first games I really remember watching.
I just remember hearing Jacob Mayfield with the bucket.
He
Jacob
was-
Mayfield with the bucket.
He was a
Jacob
heck of a
Mayfield
ball
with the bucket.
player. Heck of a ball player.
Yeah,
So
Yeah, I think too we're going to see a contrast of styles too, because Jacob, a lot of times your teams that you coach take on your own personality, and Jacob, they played good man defense, but the faster you can play, the better he likes it. And
what have they
the
been
more-
getting? They've been getting up in the
Yeah.
70s, 80s,
So,
90s normally.
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
more shots you can put up, the better he likes it. So, and we got a Western team versus an Eastern team, so you always have a contrast of styles there. But it'll be an interesting game.
And they take on his personality, so they'll be nice and well mannered.
Absolutely.
All right. Again, that is at noon Saturday, State Fair Arena. If you can be there, be there. If not, be sure to check out Squirtle, the Squirtle app, to catch up with all the scores. If you haven't had that downloaded, go ahead and do that right now, as you will know the scores first with Squirtle. And you can also be sure to check back with Squirtle, its YouTube page and all of its various social medias so we're going to have some not highlights, but some interviews with players and coaches throughout the day on the state championship Saturday. So that's it for the Class B boys. So be sure to check out all of our other videos. My name is Michael Swisher. This is John Hardaway. This is Randy Tuney. We'll see you at State Fair Arena.